Good evening. Today is Wednesday, August 10th, 2022, special session of the Board of the School Trustees of the School City of East Chicago. The time is now 6:09 p.m. The place is School City of East Chicago Administration Building, 1401 East 144th Street, and that's in East Chicago, Indiana, 46312. This is also being shown live on www.stec.k12.in.us. This is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. The purpose of this, the personnel report and contract. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be read, but it was on there. The first item on the agenda is a call to order. Ms. Bigham?
Trustee Rodriguez?
Present.
Trustee Gomez?
Present.
Trustee Williams?
Present.
Trustee Smith? Present. Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Present. Can we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next item of the agenda would be new business, and just for a reminder, we need to make sure we add on our agenda the approval of the agenda for special meetings.
Okay.
The first item for new business is 3.01, approval of administrator's salary schedule. Dr. Brigo.
Yes, we have two salary schedules that we submitted for approval. One is for the Director of Secondary Education, and one is for the Director of Food Services. We didn't have these on our administrative salary list, so we created these, and we're submitting them to the board for approval.
Is there a motion for approval?
Madam President, make a motion to approve.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval. Is there a second for this motion?
Second.
Trustee Gomez seconds the motion. Are there any questions?
Just a point of order on the, just ask for public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're correct. Is there any comment from the public? Okay. Are there any questions from the board? Ms. Bigham?
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
No.
Trustee Smith? No. Chairman Hernandez Orange.
No. Item 3.02, personnel report. Is there any comment from the audience? Is there a motion for approval?
Madam President, make a motion to approve the personnel report.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for approval. Is there a second for the motion?
Second.
Trustee Gomez seconds the motion. Are there any questions? I do have a question for our attorney. So seeing that there's no funding for one of the items on there, do we have to remove the unfortunately, the person who's on
The
there?
practical effect of it not being funded is you wouldn't be in a position as a board to approve a personnel report for a position that's not been funded, that's not on the salary schedule. So, yes, it would require that. But of course, there's a motion that's on the floor, but now that we're in the discussion phase, I think there should be some consideration made as to what adjustments need to be made to the personnel report in light of the prior vote.
Okay.
Madam President,
Trustee Williams.
I have two concerns in regards to the motion that's on the table in regards to the administrative salary schedule, well, not the salary schedule, but the positions that we're supposed to be approving for the salary schedule. There's only one that's listed. There's no approval on the personnel report for a food service person. So with that being said, the doc number 2933 is something that I will be asked to be removed from the personnel report until we get further information in regards to those two positions that we're approving on the administrative salary schedule.
And just to add to that, Dr. Abrego, you stated in your, the staff meeting that you have already found someone for one of the the elementary schools. They not passed a background check yet? Is that why it's not on here?
I don't understand the question. What was the question?
At the meeting that you had on Wednesday, you stated that you have already found a principal for Lincoln Elementary.
Yes.
I was just wondering,
I thought that was executive session.
no, he said
Okay.
it in that staff meeting.
Okay.
I was just wondering why it wasn't on here.
The background check.
Okay, that was,
We can't put the person on until their background check
was
has
still
been
not
approved.
okay. I just wanted to make sure, because if you had it, let's put it on there.
Yes, we're hoping that we can put that person on for Monday.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table, and are you making a secondary motion, trustee Williams?
I would like to, yes.
So there's a secondary motion to remove item 2933 from the personnel report. Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
So trustee Williams makes a motion, and trustee Smith seconds the motion. Are there any comments from the I can't think of the word. Audience. Are there any questions from the board? Ms. Bigum?
Madam President,
Trustee.
I do have a question.
Sure.
This is regarding the motion. I understand that it has, in the prior approval, been denied at 3.01. So these two items are clearly related. You can't introduce one without the proper funding for it. I understand that. Is there a reason that, since these are related, that the salary schedule was not approved?
I think that was a question to ask during that motion, correct?
No, these are related.
The salary schedule specifically, you've already dealt with that agenda item.
Right.
But trustee Gomez is free to ask this question. If someone wants to answer that or respond to it, they can or not.
And the reason I'm asking is that, as these are related, I would normally not do this once a motion's been approved or denied, but since these are related, directly related, and I think, as Dr. Brago's mentioned in our executive sessions, that, he has gone and done the research for the board and presented that information to us. That then leaves, I believe, the district somewhat handicapped without having the approval of the administrator's salary schedule amended as requested by the superintendent. Therefore, I think putting our students at further risk and our staff at further risk of not getting a school year off to a good start. So my question remains, if anyone would like to address the denial of, or the reason for denial of the salary schedule.
I think to me, and one of the main questions I've been asking for about 2 weeks now is for the salary schedule. If we are going to amend the salary schedule to where it's at, I wanted to make sure that, one, I saw where the cost savings were coming from on paper from the superintendent. I asked that about 2 weeks, actually more than that, because it was prior to our last board meeting. That's one for me. The second thing is, we do not have someone who is in HR, and the fact that the process of coming together to figure this out, and you and I and the rest of the board have sat on many meetings of a salary schedule, and when we did a change for something, and if we felt it was unfair or we all work together to make sure the salary schedule was set correctly prior to any type of approval. I think that continuously needs to happen, and we probably need to make sure we have our HR director in place to make sure that they are actually making sure we are following everything correctly. So those are my reasons.
May I comment?
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, I'm just letting the board know that we have two positions to fill. We had the food service director and secondary education. We're going to have to repost them and try to look for applicants again. We're going to go through the same process again because we don't have a salary scale for these positions. So we're going to be going round and round in circles and doing the same thing. I'm going to try to repost and find applicants and interview, but we don't have a salary scale. So how are we going to bring those people on board?
You probably need to hire somebody for HR to help work with you to present something that is
But
fair and equal to the entire district, like
I understand.
Trustee Williams at one point said.
I do understand that, but whether it be HR or whether it be the superintendent, you're still going to have to prove a salary, and we're going to have to go through that entire process. When we recommended these individuals and made the salary schedule, I believe it said to make sure that we have the funds available, so the funds were available through title, and I also talked to the chief financial officer, and the rest of the funds were also available for both positions. So, what's stopping us right now is we just have to get on the same page and have a salary scale for both of these positions so we can move forward. Otherwise, they're never going to be filled. And right now, I think our chief financial officer said that the position of food service director is really hurting us because there are many forms for the state and federal government that have to be completed, and they're being put on hold. And the same thing is going to be with the position of director of secondary education. But we're like in a catch-22. We're going to keep doing the same thing over. When we bring in applicants to put in front of the board, we're not going to have a salary scale.
Madam President,
Trustee Williams.
we were going to approve a salary schedule. I was thinking that we were approving the salary schedule that was going to be consistent with the hiring of both a secondary education person as well as a food service director. A food service director is not listed here in regards to us approving that salary. So I didn't think that us approving that, I think us approving that salary prior to us having a candidate, we still have.
Isn't that for approval?
Is it on here?
mean
It's not on the
it's not on the
person, it's
personnel
not listed on the personnel report. So I'm not sure if we were waiting on background check for that person as well, but it's not listed. I said in our executive session, I'm not sure, Attorney Harris, if I can share this or not, but if I can't, please stop me, but the differential between the director of secondary education and the director of elementary school education was my biggest gripe in regards to the pay scale was different. I know I did receive some information for Dr. Abrego in regards to why they were different. I just did not, it just wasn't pleasing to me to see that that big of a difference of a pay scale schedule. So that was my reasoning on the salary schedule.
That was my opinion also, the difference in the salaries. That's just, was my opinion.
And again, as your superintendent, I'm trying to fill both of these positions for our district. I just need to make sure I understand what is needed because we have the job descriptions, we have the funds available. If I made an error and I did not put the administrative salary scales in the proper place, I apologize, but the key thing is we need these positions, and I can work with our attorney or whoever to make sure that we do it correctly, but both of these positions are very important to our district.
And Dr. Abrego, you stated that the funding's there that you checked with the CFO, the funding's there. The funding's there through title for 2 years. And your plan, like you told the school district, is that you'll only be here for 3 years. So when that individual or that Director of Secondary Education goes into the third year. We now have to find where we receive funding from to support that. So with that being said, we didn't go on to see if we would be able to support it. So again, the reason me asking you for where we're going to see cost savings long-term, because we'll be here past 3 years. They'll be here past 3 years.
Yeah, and I understand, but we've got to be careful the way we use our title funds, because title funds should not be supplemental. And some of these positions that superintendent, assistant superintendent, director of elementary education, director of secondary, those are not funded through title funds with other districts. Those are positions you need, and they're in your general education fund, and you need to have that in place because, as you said, they're going to be sustained for many, many years to come. So we should not be dependent on Title I funds for, our permanent positions that we're going to have for many years.
I look forward to seeing that from you, the sustainability of that out of the title fund into something else. I look forward to seeing that from you.
Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Madam President,
Trustee Gomez.
just back to Trustee Williams' comments. I believe Dr. Abrego in that session left the door open for input from the board, lacking any input. He put forth the original proposal that he had presented to us. So I believe if the concern is that great, that a call or an email to the superintendent would be appropriate in advance of the meeting. It was already discussed face-to-face, if you will, and emailed over to us. So this is not hidden agenda. It was clearly out in the open for the board to discuss and have input on. So if you have an issue with that, I highly recommend that you communicate with the superintendent what your and Trustee Smith's opposition is and how you feel that it might better align with our budget moving forward because, as I mentioned earlier, the school year started today and we are not moving forward on two positions that are critical. And again, I think Dr. Abrego did a good job of presenting that to the board, lacking any input. He presented what was presented. So I would just recommend that you and Trustee Smith have a conversation with him as to what you think that salary schedule should be. And I believe all board members should then have a final say-so in that.
Madam President,
Trustee Williams.
in response to Trustee Gomez, and I think it was directed to me, and Dr. Abrego, please chime in if you can. I did give Dr. Abrego the courtesy of an email prior to this meeting, as well as a phone conversation twice today in regards to where I stood as far as the administrative salary and my concern. I did talk to Dr. Abrego on several occasions today, as well as through email transformation. Am I correct, Dr. Abrego?
Yes, you are. And I just want to make a comment too. We're all on the same team here. All we're trying to do is get a set salary for the food service director and the director of secondary education approved by the board. I believe that's going to have to be first. And then we can move forward and look for these positions. But I just need that salary so that when I post, there will be a range for these positions and the individuals will know exactly where they could be placed. But again, it's difficult for me to post a position, advertise it, and try to interview if we're going to come back here and we're still not going to have a salary scale for these individuals. So I just need direction on the process to get those two things done because we need these individuals. So I'll work with our attorney and then we can come back and let's get that salary scale approved for the food service and director of secondary education. And then we can post for the positions and there will be a salary range and we can move forward.
Trustee Gomez, Gomez to add, at our executive session, and again, stop me if I can, but we did discuss actually how we felt that there was, some discrepancies in the salary schedule in its entirety. As a matter of fact, we even spoke with numbers, from our trustee Rodriguez. He was trying to come up with it, figure out numbers, and then eventually we just said, or not we, but it was said by Dr. Abrego that we are focusing on those two items, and then we'd come back and look at the rest of it. So prior to Dr. Abrego, we had Dr. Disney, and something similar came to be where we were discussing salary schedules. It was only going to be for one or two positions, and we actually ended up looking at the salary schedule in its entirety, and we made the changes when we added different positions because of the fact that we wanted to make sure there wasn't discrepancies on it, and I would have really liked to see that happen. I think trustee Rodriguez also made that comment that he would like to have seen that also happen.
Madam President?
Trustee Rodriguez.
All right, I'm probably just gonna lay it out this way. There were two concerns with regards, I think you made one concern as far as where's there going to be a savings on the salary schedule for these, or by him introducing these two positions, one of them is definitely needed because it's state mandated. The other is sort of a key role for the superintendent to do success, become successful with student achievement. And you mentioned where's the savings at on the salary schedule, but since I've been a school board member, there have never been a savings on salary schedule. However, the superintendent did mention that there were several positions that will not be needed, which pretty much came to a similar amount, give or take. The second concern I'm hearing from I believe it was Trustee Williams was, if you focus on this position, what about the other position? However, the other position is not what's on the table today. The focus is on the position that the superintendent wants to do today. By bringing up other positions with regards to the key position that he needs in order to move the district forward is a concern to me. With that said, I'm just really shocked to see, because just like, and I said this before, just like a superintendent, just like a president has to have its key cabinet members, a coach has to have its key players in order to win games. In this case, the superintendent has not only chosen the person, if the salary schedule was approved, but we basically shut him down. So it's going to be very difficult for me to really get a clarity in terms of what we're doing here today.
And I just want to add one more thing for our board. We keep saying we're going to wait till we get an HR director so we can move forward. It's taken a very long time just to get these two positions. I don't know when I'm going to have an HR director. What if it takes 6 months? Are we going to go 6 months without these positions, and then we're going to be putting our food service in jeopardy, all these forms have to be done? So I don't know, but we just have to move a little bit faster on positions because it's taken too long. We're going to lose individuals. We have been losing individuals, and, we can do this. We can do this.
Dr. Abrego, yesterday, our CFO stated that she is doing those forms, so we are compliant. And it's not that we don't want to work on it, I know you've heard our concern. All you have to do, I was asking for you to make sure that you just,
No.
we go with.
And we are in compliance, but I feel bad that our chief financial officer has to take on so many other responsibilities, which is, unfair also.
Dr. Berger, I'm not trying to be controversial, but back to this HR, because that's probably one of the problems with the salary schedule and the inconsistencies in the salaries. HR would be the one to interview. How many people have you interviewed for HR?
How many people have we interviewed for HR?
Yeah, I mean, how many applicants have been interviewed for HR?
We haven't even started the interviews for HR yet.
Okay, so how long was that posted?
It's been posted for a while.
And you haven't received any applicants?
Oh, yes, we have received many
So
applicants.
when is that process gonna start?
Well, as I said, my first priority as your superintendent was to bring on the positions that are badly needed to start our schools. Therefore, we were filling the principal positions, assistant principals positions, our teaching positions, and I said, as soon as we started our school year, we're going to move forward with the HR and the athletic director. So that's where we're heading.
Are there any other questions from the board?
Madam President,
Trustee Rodriguez.
this is for Trustee Smith. I guess the real question is, how long has the superintendent been a superintendent here in our district? Because the HR position has been posted for over a month.
Are there any other questions from the board? Ms. Bigum?
Trustee Rodriguez?
This is, can
This is
you
the
clarify
secondary
the
motion.
motion, please?
This is to, a secondary motion to the personnel removing item 2933.
No.
Trustee Gomez?
No.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. The motion on the floor is 3.02 with personnel report with the removal of item 2933. Are there any questions from the audience? Or comments? Comments, sorry. You go to.
Hi, Patty Gibson King. I want to ask a question about this individual here that you said that is 3933.
29.
29.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2933. Yeah, what's the name here? Because this is a small print. Michelle Ondas?
Yeah, it's not for question and answer, it's just comment.
Oh, just comment?
Just public
Oh,
comment.
well, okay then,
Statement.
well, I just wanted to know who, did this person live in the district, or,
And state name.
that's what I want to
I
know.
can take a look at it after the meeting and talk to you if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, okay, that'd be nice.
Are there any other comments from the audience? Any questions from the board? Ms. Bigum?
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
No.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. Item 3.03, approval of contract for professional services, school psychologist/speech and language services.
I'm sorry, the special education director is not here, but we did get an email from the attorney. I think he could help us with that because
Yes, I
you
can
said it was
help.
very important that this be approved today.
Yes, I worked with Ms. Pohl on this, and this is an agreement with Super Psyched, and this is for 2 part-time psychologists that would be working district-wide. The agreement is pretty standard in form, but these 2 particular part-time individuals, they were recommended through the Griffith School Corporation, and Ms. Pohl was really high on these two people, that they're very good for the district, and she really wants to make sure that they're not, that we don't lose them to other districts because they're in high demand. But outside of that, I did get an opportunity to review the agreement, made edits to the agreement, and I do believe that it adequately protects the interests of the school corporation. I'd recommend approval.
Is there, is there comments from the audience on item 3.03? Is there a motion for approval of the contract for professional services, school psychologists, speech and language services?
Madam President, I move for approval of item 3.03.
Trustee Gomez makes a motion for approval.
Second that motion.
Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Are there any questions from the
Madam
board?
President. Madam President.
Trustee Gomez.
Based on a previous comment that was addressed to the board, residency is not a requirement for employment with the school city of East Chicago.
That has something to do with this?
And I'd like Attorney Harris perhaps to weigh in on this comment that I just made. Can you share with us the requirements for employment with the school city of East Chicago? And also, can you address specifically if residency is a requirement?
So I think the requirements for employment to some degree vary depending upon the position that we're talking about. Generally, many of the positions require a background check, particularly if it involves contact with children. But outside of that, I think it varies depending upon position. Either way, though, residency isn't a requirement.
Okay, just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Madam President,
Trustee Williams.
Attorney Harris, I know you say you work with Mrs. Poe with this. Is this a new company, first time within our district, or is this something that's renewed every year?
We have not used them before.
Okay.
They came to us at the recommendation of two other school corporations, but one in particular she mentioned was Griffith. They worked in Griffith.
Okay.
And she has spoken to these two, I don't know about interview necessarily, but she has dealt with the two psychologists and is very, very impressed with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Ms. Bigum?
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange.
Yes. Item number 4, trustee remarks. Are there any trustee remarks?
Madam President.
Trustee Gomez.
I believe that normally we have an item listed here for superintendent remarks. Is there a reason that was left off?
I'm not sure. I actually did not have a meeting with Dr. Abrego in regards to the agenda, so I could not tell you.
That's okay.
No.
But if you would allow me, I would like to make a couple of comments. Madam President?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
prerogative of the chair. Yep, you can allow it.
That's fine.
I know. Good. And I just want to let our board members know and our community that today was the first day of school, and we had a successful opening, so we're very happy with that. I was able to visit 4 elementary schools, and I want to thank all the parents that walked or brought their children to school, especially the elementaries. I was at Lincoln Elementary this morning, and I was very happy to see 60, 80 parents bringing their children to school today at Lincoln. And even though we don't have a principal there, we had coverage. I was there for a while, and we have our Director of Elementary Education. So tomorrow, the same plan. And I want to thank all the other people from our district that went to help at Lincoln too, because I know we were worried a little bit about it, but all our schools are off to a good start, so that's a good thing.
Are there any trustee remarks?
Madam President.
Trustee Gomez.
I just want to ask Superintendent, thank you for that information. It's good to know. And I'm happy as well. The question I have is, this was discussed earlier, and just for clarification, is there anybody working in HR, Human Resources, right now? Do you have any employees in there? Superintendent?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
The question is there somebody working in HR department?
Oh, yes, we have our,
That's all I want to know. Thank you.
right now, we don't have an HR director, but we have an HR coordinator
Great.
and
Thank
an
you.
assistant.
Any other trustee remarks?
Madam President,
Trustee Williams.
I will say to Dr. Abrego, the consistency of communication has been great. I appreciate the phone calls prior to board meetings, the emails that I received as well. I do want to mention that today was the first day that my granddaughter, which is a 4th grader at Washington Elementary School. I thought it was a great first day of school. I stayed directly across the street from Black Middle School. I do mention or say to either Dr. Abrego or someone that's in control of maybe even East Chicago Police Department, Trustee Hernandez Orange. It is a slew of traffic that goes up and down Cardinal Drive with both elementary school, being Washington Elementary, as well as Black Middle School. We know parents are bringing students to school. We got buses up and down that block. I stay on that block. I see a ton of vehicles that kind of drive erratically with kids being present. So I don't know if it's a safety issue that needs to be discussed with the city, with our patrol officers, or even our crossing guards. I did see our crossing guards out there. I know in the past we had not had those always scheduled by the first day of school, but today it looked very smooth. But I know before it tragically happened, I think that's something that needs to be addressed.
Are there any other comments? I just want to say welcome back to the kids, per usual. I love seeing Facebook and all the kids with their cute outfits and smiling faces, and the happy faces of teachers seeing students in the school building, so that's also great. Trustee Williams, I'm able to pass along to my husband that I do know that the traffic division contacted me, asking me about late start Wednesdays. He said no one kind of contacted them about it, so I did refer them to the superintendent as well as to, I think, actually the CFO, because she usually handles that. So, but I told him to make sure to contact, so we just have to make sure to let them know there's no more late starts and all that stuff, because they're in limbo, also knowing. And I just want to wish the kids a very happy school year, and I hope for continuous progress from our students. We had tremendous growth in themselves, not state growth completely, but we had growth, and they should be celebrated. And I will continue to hope for more growth now, since this is our second year in post-COVID, let's put it like that. And hopefully we don't have to go back. So let's make sure we keep our, hopefully, mask on. We probably need to stay that and make sure we have the buildings clean, and make sure that we're able to give out supplies. I know at the back-to-school rally, I saw people giving out supplies to keep hand sanitized, and the statement of washing your hands still continues, and we just don't want to go back to that state. So let's continue to stay safe and have a prosperous new year. The next date and time, I'm sorry, public forum. No one.
No one.
The next date and time for our meeting will be on August the 22nd, I believe.
15th.
Oh, 15th.
It's the 15th.
And that'll be at 6 PM here in the boardroom at 6, yeah. Is there a motion for adjournment?
Madam President, motion to adjourn.
Trustee Rodriguez makes a motion for adjournment. Trustee Williams seconds the motion. Ms. Biggle?
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Chairman Hernandez Orange?
Yes.